Hi guys, how are you all doing? My name is Abby, and like I always say, this is my channel. If you're new, kindly subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Anyways, let's get down to business. And to my G's, y'all know I cannot forget to thank you. So thank you for staying through to me. But seriously, let's get down to business. It's story time. Yes, it is. And today I will be telling you the story of one of my favorite Bible heroes, Esther. Queen Esther. I went crown hunting. I couldn't find anything, so I just put this on my head. By the way, you can find the story of Esther in the book of Esther. I had to do that, and I am so glad it worked. So everyone, let's get to a little introduction here. Meet Hadassah, daughter of Abihail of the tribe of Benjamin, who was living with Uncle Mordecai, a gatekeeper at the palace. You know who else is from the tribe of Benjamin and royalty? King Saul. Story time. So get this. The king then, King Ahasuerus, or Xerxes, whichever one you want to call him, ruler of 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia, threw a party. And his wife, Vashti or Vashti, whichever one you want to call her, some people say Vashti, threw a party of her own. Not bad. And then the king sent for her. You know, they got drunk, the party was partying and their spirits were high, and they said, hey, let's bring the queen here, see what she looks like in all of her glory. And guess what? She said she wasn't coming. Vashti refused to appear before the king. You know what happened? Y'all don't know how tired I get of this back and forth. Vashti, the king is calling you. You're really not coming. You ain't gonna come. Final answer? Go bye! Bye-bye, Vashti. Hello, Hadassah. Or Esther this time. Esther of Susa. The name that Mordecai gave her because she got to be a part of that pageantry that was thrown for the king for him to select a new wife. So with that, Esther got into the palace, and she was so humble, highly favored, and greatly graced by God, such that all who saw her fell in love with her at first sight. They gave her the best of everything, best of skincare, best of perfumes, best of clothes, everything that she needed. And you know what? That is what favor can do for you. When you're favored by God, even those that don't like you, they're going to work for you. The king also fell in love with Esther. Aww. He loved her and he married her on the spot. She became the new queen. And guess what? The party that Vashti threw for herself, the king threw for Esther. There's a difference. Kids, remember I said that Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin? Y'all also remember that one time that God said, go, kill everybody, spare nothing. But Saul, he don't leave some animals. And he also spared the king until Samuel came. Well, guess what? Scholars believe that Agag happened to have a son. That son raised an army. An army that came with a lot of passionate anger to wipe out Israel. I'm talking about Haman the Agagite. Haman the Agagite. That's the villain of the story that my superhero, Esther, goes against. Now, he was on a mission, not just to wipe out Mordecai, but the entire nation of Israel. Word got out pretty fast, and everybody knew what Haman was up to. Initially, Esther was a bit discouraged about doing anything about it because, well, you don't come before the king uninvited. But Esther decided that, you know what? If I perish, I perish. And you know what she did? She told Mordecai, tell the people of Israel to fast with me 3 days. I and my handmaidens will do same. Operation Save Israel was a go. While that was happening, something else was happening too. The Bible records that the king could not sleep one night, and he opened the book of records, the Chronicles of Kings, and he saw somewhere that, hey, Mordecai did something for me before, and he hasn't been rewarded. So he called for Haman again, and asked him, what shall be done to the man that the king wishes to honor? Haman thought it was him. My liege, for the man that you delight to honor, get one of your highest princes, most noble. Give to him the royal robe and a royal crown and your chariot. And let this high and noble prince ride through the city with this man that you delight to honor, saying, thus shall it be done for the man who the king delights to honor. Boy, was he wrong. That treatment he, the highest and noble prince, gave to Mordecai. So hilarious. That fueled his anger the more, But then Esther was on her assignment, fasting, praying, and soon she went before the king. And it was like the rising sun for him. The moment he saw her, he suddenly, oh God, I've missed my wife, my queen. And then she invited him to a banquet and asked him to come along with Haman. And they came the first day. Of course, he was proud. Among all the princes, she chose me to join the king for dinner. And you know what happened next? Esther did not make a request that day because the king had asked her, anything you want up to half of my kingdom, I'll give it to you. She didn't ask for anything that day. Instead, she invited them to day 2 of the feast. And they came. And that was the day that Haman's judgment showed up. Aside the judgment, also the fulfillment of God's instruction. When God told Saul to wipe out the entire kingdom of Agag, he meant everybody. But one escaped, and one became 10, because Haman had 10 sons. But guess what? The king's judgment covered it all. He was hung on the same gallows he built. Talk about having a taste of your own medicine. Mordecai took Haman's place, and the rule, the reign, the fame of Esther spread like vibes, waves, I tell you. And that's the story of Esther. Now, what did I learn? What have I been learning? What do I want you to learn? 1, God over everything. It's so important that in our time we put God first, because He's everything to us. He's everything. And I love the way that she put God first when she was in front of a tough situation. She didn't just use the physical monarchical powers accorded to her as queen. She also got the backing of Jehovah. Lesson number 2, courage. Esther was very courageous as queen. She dared the impossible, going before her husband unannounced. I don't know the courage that came on her, but boy, did he come hard, because that was some serious risks she took there. But she did. She attacked it. She was courageous. And why won't she be courageous when she got the backing of Jehovah? That's what having God in your life makes you a courageous person. So, well done, heroine.